All right, and we are live. Hi, guys. Welcome to Jason Hebert Live. We have another missing persons interview for you tonight, and this one is a doozy, let me tell you. They all are, but there is so much to this. It involves CPS, it involves abuse, a lot of allegations. We make no hard accusations on the show, of course, but let me tell you, once the guests start to tell their story, there is a lot we're dealing with here. So we got to get this story out and we got to bring her home. Before we begin, let me introduce my co-host, the one and only beautiful Tammy Spray. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jason.
Hi. A lot of people know her. I think we lost the guest. We got Kristen here.
Stop right now.
Just so you know, okay. She didn't mute her. Okay, I don't know if what happened, but how are you doing today, Tammy?
I'm good.
It's been a heck of a day. I know you've been kind
Sorry about that.
looking at the case. Oh, no problem, Kristen. I think we lost Caryn, though. Oh, she's back. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Hi, Caryn.
Yeah. Hi.
So, like I was saying earlier, typically I give a big, long intro, but I'm going to hold off from doing that because I don't want to do it wrong, and you can tell the story better than me. So why don't you start by just telling us what was going on beforehand? Because I know it led up to it being a missing persons case, but how did we get there? Do you want to start at the very beginning? The floor is yours. Take your time.
You want me to tell a long story, Kristen? About
Got a lot of kids.
15 years ago. Yes, we do. We're a big family.
Yeah.
One of our family members was having a difficult time in life, and her name was Sunday Hodges. And she and Kenneth Kazee had 4 children. And it was hard for them. So the Grandma Sandy and I went up to Idaho and we picked up the kids. And Sandy is her mother. And we picked up the kids and Sunday. And we brought them back down to Santa Rosa in 2005. I'm going to say like in spring, because it was right after I got home from Italy, and I got home from Italy right after Pope John Paul died. I can't tell you exact dates, but that's about the general time. Okay. So we brought the kids back, and Sonny got into the TANF system, and Kristen got into school, and everything was going hunky-dory, and King came down, and then Guerneville flooded.
It flooded?
Yes, Guerneville had a flood. And we were stuck. Grandma Sandy, Grandma Fran, myself, Sunday, Kenneth, Kristen, Kaya, Mikhail, and Noah. We're all stuck in the house for 6 days, and it was very stressful. Ken was able to get out by foot and wade through the water. And he went back to the house that they had alongside the river. And I don't know, things just started going south from there. And it was apparent to the family that they were having problems. So we all got together, and each one of us took one of the children. And we all lived really close together. Chris lived down the road, and the grandmas were together to begin with. So, and I was there with him at that time too. So a grown up grabbed a kid, and we just bonded, and we took care of the kids as a family. We were all living, close together, and we kept them all together. And I was in school, and I moved to Santa Rosa, and Kaya was with Chris and Corey, and the other 2 were with the grandmas. And CPS was called, because Sunday and Ken were not taking care of their children, but they were still collecting funding. And CPS came and they took the kids away. They took all 4 of them. The sheriff actually had to come to my mother's house to get the youngest because she refused to release him.
Okay.
And
I understand that. I dealt with a similar situation, and CPS actually took my cousin from my arms, and I remember the feeling of like, no, you're not taking him. So I totally.
It was bad. It was really, really bad, and it devastated our family, and it tore us apart as a family. It did.
Absolutely.
Because of all the things that were said and done, and I don't think that Sunday ever recovered from her children being taken away. And we lost her a couple of years ago. And we lost Grandma Sandy a couple of years before Sunday died. So after the CPS took the kids, we were able to visit as long as they were in foster care and officially foster children. We were able to visit, and the Centenos received the 3 youngest siblings the day after they were picked up from us. We know from one woman contacted us that was the foster parent for 1 day of the children, and they went from her house to the Centenos. So the Centenos had them from that time. The adoptions went through really, really fast, and a lot of us are questioning the validity of the adoptions because they didn't give Ken and Sunday enough time. They didn't. I'm sorry. The things that they were struggling with take more than a day. They didn't get there in a day. They needed help. They needed to be stabilized. They didn't give them enough time.
Mhm.
And so as long as only a certain number of us could go see them at once. All right. So we rotated. I think Grandma Sandy and Grandma Fran went every time. But the rest of us rotated around. So we each got to go visit here and there and what have you, with them and stuff while they were in foster care. But it wasn't very long before none of us got to see them at all. And they basically disappeared off the face of the earth. We had no contact with them whatsoever until middle of last month. And I think I'm going to let Kristen tell that part of the story.
Okay.
And Kristen, you're the oldest sibling of these 4 children, right?
Yes. My sister Kaya is 5 years younger than I am. So I remember a lot of this stuff a little bit better than my siblings probably do. So I think it's important to note that there was never any abuse or anything going on at home with our parents or anything like that. It was just.
Can I stop you real quick, Kristen? I'm so sorry.
Right.
Can everyone hear her good? She just sounds really muffled to me. Or can you guys hear her?
I can hear her good enough.
Okay. Is there any way you can move a little closer to the mic? If not, Kristen, it's okay. I just want to make sure.
I think it's the Bluetooth. It's on. So.
Yeah, it's on the.
Oh, that sounded good.
I can switch to my.
Actually,
my computer.
It's up to you.
It's her potato.
Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure everyone can hear her. That's all. Can you guys hear her in the chat? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Ignore.
They say no.
Oh no. Okay.
They say no. They said no.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Do we have another option?
I'm gonna switch it to the. They say no. The speaker.
Okay. They say no.
Yeah. You're just.
No, there's a lot of feedback.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better the other way.
Yeah, do it the other way. I'm sorry, guys.
Turn off the YouTube.
Go back to the other way.
Yeah, turn off the YouTube window.
Sorry, it's just as we go along, I'm starting to learn
the YouTube window playing in the background too, and that's where the echo was coming from.
Yeah, I just don't know if she turns that off. If she
YouTube, it should be okay, baby.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. Is that better?
Yes.
Much.
Okay. So I just think it's important to note that we never had any like kind of like abuse or anything like that. It was just I could tell that my parents were going through a hard time. Even then, I didn't really understand, but now I do more. And then, so basically, when they got adopted by Gina and Jose, they cut off all contact as soon as it was official, although they promised verbally that it wouldn't be like that. And I remember my attorney and my social worker, because I was still in foster care. They tried so many times to contact them on my behalf, and and it was just never reciprocated. Holiday cards, birthday cards, everything like that was returned to us. Everything that we sent to them, and so that was really confusing for me. I was a little kid, and I that was really traumatic for me as well. And then so it was very surprising to me when I heard just about a month ago detectives calling me and asking me questions about my sister Kaya. And as this is, mind you, this is the first thing that I've heard about them in about 10 years. And he's asking questions about her, and if I'd had any contact with her, and then he informed me that she was missing. So that's kind of where we are now. And of course, with the other information that was released publicly about my other siblings and the things that have transpired since their adoption, it kind of opened a window into what their life was like. And I know that everyone in my family had been wondering this entire time. I mean, they lived only a few miles away from where we live. And it's just worst case scenario, worst nightmare. Everything I ever worried about just came true. And it's really
I'm so
horrible.
sorry
It's awful,
what you're going through.
And I just want to find my sister. I'm so happy that my other two siblings were found and rescued from the life that they were living, if you can even call it.
Where are your other siblings right now? Are they in
they're in
another
protective custody with CPS at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's a little more oversight this time.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, that's a crazy story. Like the first thing I read about it was that something along the lines of you got the two siblings talking to CPS, and then they mentioned, sister's been missing for 8 to 10 years. Like, whoa, what?
Yeah, right. They were found in Mexico. They somehow got in contact with authorities in Mexico and were able to tell the authorities about the abuse that they had endured, and they were then brought back to the United States, and that's when they were able to disclose that they hadn't seen Kaya since she was in about second grade back here in California.
Wow. Okay, so for anybody listening that wants to, try to take look at the options of where she could be, do you have any directions that this goes for both Caryn or Yvette that you'd like to try to point people in? Like, what do you guys? I'm sorry. I just said hello to Yvette in the chat. Sorry. This goes for Caryn or Kristen.
You mean you want us to speculate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, I've been talking to Kristen, and they found the kids in Mexico. All right. They found the youngest two in Mexico. And I found out today we got at least one question to answer today, and that is how the Mexican police got a hold of the kids in the first place.
Yeah.
And apparently, the Mexican authorities were contacted by a neighbor
Okay.
who noticed there were two children, two white kids who appeared to be Americans living next door, and under conditions that were questionable. Okay.
Okay.
And the Mexican authorities went to check it out, and they found the kids. So in process of the kids giving their testimony, and how the heck they got there, they mentioned Kaya, and that was the first time that anybody said a word about her since she disappeared. And if those kids hadn't remembered her, nobody would know she's missing. Nobody would know,
Right.
except for the Centenos, because they're the ones that did whatever they did with her. Okay, so I'm going to speculate now. People are creatures of habit. They do things that work for them, and they keep doing it. I think that they took her to Mexico first. I think it worked for them, and that's why when it was time to get rid of the other two, they took them down there. That's what I speculate. Do I know? Hell no, I don't know. All I know is two of our kids ended up in Mexico, and one's still missing.
Wow. So
That's
sorry.
what I do know.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Tammy, as far as there's so many options and stuff going on? I'm a little thrown off. I don't.
Yeah, no, so okay, so Caryn, you're the aunt of all of these children. Kristen, you're the sister of them.
My brother is married to the children's mother's sister. So, you understand?
Okay, that took a second. Okay, so and Kristen, the last time that you saw your siblings was in what year was it?
It was around the end of 2007. I remember they wanted to spend Christmas as a family, and that was her excuse for not letting us visit them around that time. It was right before the adoption went through.
Yeah. So, and people are asking what part of Mexico, yeah.
I'm thinking around Leon.
Can you say it again?
I'm thinking around Leon.
Leon?
Okay.
Yes.
You said you're thinking around there. Is there a reason why?
Yes, there is. Because that's where the Centeno's names originates.
Oh.
And Latin names are a lot like Latin people. Families start somewhere.
So what about the authorities? Like, what can they do? Like, how can they search in Mexico?
Yeah,
how does that work?
Well, obviously, the Mexican police must be involved in some manner because they were found there in Mexico. And the charges that are brought against these people are not for Kaya. They're for the younger two.
They're for the
younger two that they have in custody.
Okay. And so do you want to go into like the charges that are against them for the younger two or no? It's a
brutal thing, a horrifying thing to think that one of your children in your family had to go through with these three kids had to go through.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but I kind of take a pleasure in knowing that they're not going to be treated kindly in prison.
Oh yeah.
Well, for sure.
For sure.
I'm sorry. I'm not a vindictive person, but for sure. All right.
I don't blame you for that one.
Yeah, because that's a hard thing to swallow. The charges were of deviated sexual nature towards children, use of brute force, enslavement, imprisonment.
Just even hearing that.
They tortured those children and they used them as sex slaves.
So I know they had a court date the other day. Do you guys want to talk about what happened there? I wasn't able to listen in on that.
What happened in the court date was their attorneys basically requested more time. Of course they did. So that has been pushed out to October 5th is when they're going to enter their plea, and everything begins from there, really. From the
October
legal
5th?
aspect. Yeah.
Okay. Jeez.
Hi, Gretchen. She's a friend of ours.
The 5th, they're supposed to enter their pleas. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
They're still not talking. I just, I kind of believe, I have a very strong faith that Senorita Centenos will have a change of heart and roll over on that guy, because I don't know any woman that will stand by her man for life imprisonment. She needs to roll over.
She
Yeah.
needs to say something, 100%. And if you know her and you're listening, we get a good amount of people in this chat here. And if you have access to her, please talk some sense into her, because she needs to say something.
And so there were some people that, I was reading that article, and then I read at the bottom there were some like weird comments from people like, about innocent until proven guilty. I mean, if
defending them that my family promptly attacked, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, call that girl out. I will.
They surely did, didn't they? Yeah, well, it's like I said, they fooled a lot of people, and there's going to be a lot of trolls that think that they know these people, and that are going to, especially because we're on social media and in the media now, so much, they're going to come and they're going to say things about them. And let's face it, they're people and they had friends too. And, a lot of us believe in our friends, and there's a thing called loyalty. So,
Yeah.
you got to be prepared for these kind of things. But the truth of the matter is that the DA has enough evidence to charge these people with some heinous crimes, and they found it corroborating what the children said. So, I mean, it's pretty much a done deal as far as whether they did it or not.
Yeah, if if those are your friends and you're loyal to somebody like that, obviously, if you're friends with somebody like that, you've got to know their life and, a little bit about what's going on in their life. I mean, it's disgusting. It's
awful.
Disgusting.
Yeah, Tammy said it best. I can't even add to that.
It's truly deeply saddening.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
The system has not changed in 30, 40 years. Ever. And this has been going on in the systems probably, for as long as the system has been there. And it's time that our children are not prey for predators in any form of organization, whether it be church, school, CPS, or anything else. It's time that this crap is done.
Yeah.
And
so, Edie's asking, did they have any other kids, and has anyone questioned them? Did they have any other foster kids, or did they?
They were fostering kids before they fostered my siblings, and then continued to do so afterward. And they did have 2 other adopted children. And we can't really talk very much about them. But what I do know is that she adopted them a few years after she adopted my siblings. And that's all we can really say.
Have they been questioned? Do you know?
It said in one article that
I thought you were going to come and eat strawberries with me.
So it says that they are being interviewed. So, and a lot of people who have messaged me have said, that they had known the Centenos for, going on, some people 12 years, 6 years. And the Centenos had never mentioned a single word about having adopted 3 children, and that there were places in the house that were, off limits. And
yeah, a lot of people are saying that in the chat, like they did it and stuff.
In hindsight, it's looking like maybe that's,
Yeah, like they adopted them to do this.
Yeah.
Like they're
No,
just
I believe that
disgusting.
she worked at the school as yard duty.
Oh, right.
And-
She worked at the school,
she worked
right?
at the school.
And she also worked at a very well-known market, especially for the Hispanic community. Nice little upscale market. So she's well known. She's well known in Santa Rosa. At least known enough. I don't know about him.
So she probably led like a double life, because I think I talked to someone that said they knew her from working at the school with her or
1
something.
second, guys.
Or no, their kid went to the school where she worked at, and they said that she was like seemed like a normal person.
Yeah.
But these charges are so disgusting and heinous that I don't feel like that is, I feel like that she was probably leading a double life. I don't know.
Well,
We could all.
There's a lot of from what research I've done on about people who prey on children, predators, pedophiles. They tend to act normal, and that's nobody's gonna come out and tell you, hey, I'm a fucking pedophile,
Right.
obviously, I mean, come on. And if you look at it, their behaviors say pedophiles try to gain access to children, and that's just a typical behavior for someone like that. So I don't know if this is pure speculation. There's no proof of this, but maybe her husband was a pedophile and she knew and she helped him to access children. I mean, the possibilities here, we would never know. And the only people who know are the Centenos.
Yeah, and the kids.
And the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully someone has a conscience and decides to speak up.
Yeah, because other people know. They do. And was it 8 or how long ago?
I mean, really?
Yeah.
How much more lying can you do?
Right.
And from what I understand, from what I have been told by various people who have, decided to approach me and IM me, because we really aren't responding much or well to the Centeno's loyal friends. But one lady did tell me that she'd seen her be dishonest, even about things that she didn't need to be dishonest about. She said that she had a real problem with honesty.
They have a really big family with lots of kids, guys. Sorry.
We do. And this was much like her aunties.
Maybe you could try bringing them in another room.
No, it's fine. They sound like happy kids, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
You're just going to have to deal with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's no big deal. I was just making a
lucky
suggestion.
we got the one that's still latched on out. And Dad went out for ice cream to get us ice cream. So,
yeah, like Tammy said, they sound happy. So let the poor kids have some fun.
It's all good.
That's our future. That's our future. Our children.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if don't worry about it. If they're it's no biggie. So we got from Peculiar Girl. What about their older kids? She's asking, and
as far as I know, that their older kids did live in the house for a certain period of time, up until recently. Then, as they grew of age, the two oldest ones moved out and started lives of their own, and only the youngest Centeno was still in the household at the time of the search.
okay. And there's a picture of, you guys can see, right? I couldn't find a ton on her, but there's a picture.
Do you have the what do you guys think about the age progression photo?
Oh my God, she looks so much like Corey. It's unreal.
Really?
Can you send that to me, Tim?
All the Hodges women look
it.
alike. They really, really do. And she really looks a lot like Corey.
So you guys think that's probably a really good depiction
I
of
think it's
what she looks
probably a good
like?
representation. I did contact the officer, and I asked them if they would also do one with her natural curl in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she is in how do you say not really well, if she doesn't have access to hair straightener, there's no way she's going to look
Oh,
like that today. I'll tell you that right now.
we do
So
have a from Be United. They sent it to me last second. So, but we do
Oh,
have
do you
one
have it?
from them too. Yeah. Well, we have something here. Let me see. Right here.
Where- Well, oh yeah, that's
yeah,
the age.
that's the age progression one there.
And check out Be United, guys. They're
She
awesome.
has a lot of her father's look, and she has her father's eyes,
Oh,
and she looks like Corey, her auntie.
for
Oh,
sure. So you think that's a
Yeah.
good representation? You said this one
I
right
think they
here.
did a good job. I do.
Okay. Yeah. What an adorable
I
little girl.
studied
Wow.
anthropology, and I know bone structure, and they did a real nice job on her. They did.
yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay. So that's.
So we've been
age progression.
Kristen is taking care of the Halloween baby, and we'll be back.
Awesome.
Oh no, she's
Thank you,
over there.
Kristen.
Who got her?
Yeah, Kristen's here.
Uh-oh, now she's being quiet. One of us better go look.
Yeah, we get a lot of people, of course, just being super supportive in the chat, saying obvious things
I'm not
about
rolling
P
in the
words.
chat because I don't want to have back feedbacks. So I
For
can't see
sure.
what anybody is saying.
I don't
I'm
know.
putting
I'm
on screen
sure
most
that
of them.
everybody's going to tell me anyway. So,
For sure.
our family's not perfect. It's not, and we fight just like any other family. And but damn it, when stuff happens, we stick together, and because that's just the way we are. That's our family, and yeah. There was no reason really that CPS had to take the kids. The family had handled it. I believe that the person who called CPS had no clue that this ever would happen, and only wished to give Sunday and Kenneth a wake up call and say, look, this is what you're risking if you continue this behavior. And fully expected CPS to leave the children where they were. But that didn't happen. Okay. And
Yeah, it was a
now,
nightmare.
yeah, and now we have this to face, and you have to understand that my family has been fighting about what happened then for 10 years. Okay.
Do you know who called CPS, or
Yes,
it doesn't matter, but okay.
yes, I do.
Do you still communicate with them?
Yes, I do, but reluctantly.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
it did create a schism in our family. It did.
Yeah.
It was extremely difficult for Grandma Sandy and Sunday, both.
Yeah.
Okay. And I promised Sandra that I would stay and keep my eye on them kids, Kristen, because she was the only one that was left that we knew of, and she was having trouble too. It wasn't easy for her. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It was really, really hard for her, and she's done a very great job in getting her life, back together and turn around and being a mom and going to school and stuff. And I'm damn proud of her. And I know that her mama and her grandma are too. So, I mean, it wasn't easy. The family disagreed. They did on it. Both sides of the family wanted to take the kids. Neither side of the family was allowed to take the kids. That creates a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
And fingers start
And
pointing and people start screaming sometimes.
And the weird thing is that CPS allowed my aunt and uncle to take me in, but not the other kids.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, for
Ugh.
sure.
The Centenos never lost possession of those children after 24 hours, from 24 hours after leaving the family's houses.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
KK
and
says I'm her father.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and he is, and he's not a bad man. He had a hard time.
Yeah.
We've all had hard times in our lives.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve this.
Absolutely.
I,
I'm so sorry,
uh,
KK, for what you're
I
going
believe
through.
that Gina took him to Mexico. That's what I think. I think Jose was in Mexico and Gina took him there too.
Okay.
Here's what we know, Jessica Petty, is that the police have confirmed who took them to Mexico, and you know that we've had this conversation before. So stop trying to deflect. Thank you.
Wait, what?
Well,
She was referring to this, Tammy, this question.
Oh. Is this somebody you guys know?
No, we don't know.
Jessica
we know
Petty
of her.
is self-proclaimed Gina's best friend.
Oh.
Is she? Yeah.
Okay.
We have no idea. There were some logistics that they had to take care of first because the kids were still in Mexico, and so Gina's going to be charged here in the United States with the kids in Mexico, and they needed to debrief them and interview them and stuff like that. So there was a natural progression of the case. Kristen was notified almost 6 weeks ago now, and we really don't know why it's taken so long. We're asking that question ourselves.
Okay. Maybe 1 second. I don't know if anyone's getting a little feedback or if it's just from me.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah.
Just taking. So we got Chris Casey, obviously relative to us, is some type of corruption in California CPS.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%.
For sure.
I think you might be on the right track.
And so this is why it's really good to do, like, get as much as you can, out there with your guys' story and with everything that's going on, and as much publicity as you can, because these things will go under the rug, and people won't pick them up. The like news media and stuff, they won't even look at it. This is really disgusting and disturbing, and you guys just need to make noise. Always make noise and don't stop.
We plan on making noise on October 5th.
One more second, guys. So sorry. My dog is freaking out.
Kristen and I were talking about having a sit-in in front of the courthouse on October 5th when they go to make their pleas. And having our family and friends and stuff there with us. Follow the COVID rules. Everybody mask and wear gloves and social distance as much as you have to. Stay within your polycules.
Follow the rules.
Keep your circle together. But I think that's what we're gonna do. Because if we remain silent, it very well could get swept under the rug. And this is probably one of the worst cases in recent history, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the foster and adoptive systems goes, it's probably one of the worst cases.
Yeah.
So I think that we can generate some.
It's a nightmare. It really is.
There has to be change. There has to be.
Yeah.
This stuff has been going on since I was a kid. I was in the foster system.
Yeah.
I know very well what it's like to be in a foster system. I was there.
Be United makes a good point that when kids are in care, the biological family often has zero control over anything whatsoever. They can't intervene, or they're giving very little information a lot of the time.
Correct.
Is it Kaya or Kaya? I just want to pronounce it right. Kaya?
Kaya.
Kaya? Okay.
Kaya.
Okay. And I think each one of us spell it differently too.
Karina Hornbacher says, I wish I could be there, sending lots of love and good thoughts everyone's way. Chris Casey as well, and Peculiar Girl. I'll sending you some love and support. We also have Edie Whitley with the question, have they said anything at all about Kaya? I don't know. know who she's referring to. Who in?
No.
Um,
No. As far
Okay.
as we know, they are not talking.
Okay. Peculiar girl. I think she's someone you guys know, right? Because I believe she's alive.
I do too. I do too. I believe that if they had,
Yeah.
you know, if she was passed away, they would have found their remains by now because they've searched that property.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I believe that she is still alive, and I believe
Me
we will
too.
find her one day.
Yeah, absolutely. So so the Mexican police are working with our police, or is this
Well, like
like
I said, I was speculating. Don't you think that the American police kind of figure, that would be a good place to start as well? If I can find this information online, with a few bucks and an active night, the police surely can. So, um,
yeah,
and they're not stupid. As a matter
yeah,
of fact, the detective that did the initial investigation and stuff, and the sergeant, I spoke with both of them, and they're very decent dudes. They're decent kind of guys, and I straight up told him a few things, a few thoughts that I had on my mind, and he didn't disagree or agree with me, but he didn't but he did listen to me, and they did good work. I mean, look what they got him. Look what they got him on.
mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
hard information to get from a child who's been traumatized.
right.
Sure. For
Yeah,
They did a really good job.
yeah. It's
sure.
terrible. So what was I gonna say? Somebody somebody said there should be more than 40 human beings paying attention to this. Jennifer
There will be.
Stewart. And there will be. There absolutely will be.
And just so you know, a lot of people think that's the current amount of people that are in there at a time. But the average viewer watches, like, I think it's 8 to 10 minutes of the YouTube statistics. Typically between 300 and 600 people come in each live we do, just so you guys know.
Oh, there will be. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's exactly. And I always get like anywhere from 1 to 3,000 the first week, and then it goes up from there. So just so if anyone's looking, going, oh man, only 30, 40 people or 50 earlier, that's just at one time. I always get a report right afterwards. It's always at least 300 during the live, and then a lot more after, of course.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Jennifer. But Dave Wilson of Be United says the report we saw is the FBI was working with the Mexican authorities.
That's
Oh,
what we were
good.
told
Oh, so the
initially.
FBI is on it.
Yes.
Yeah, they have been involved since
From
the beginning.
Oh, good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And then
So have you talked to the FBI yourselves?
No.
No.
sorry, guys. I think
They haven't.
We really aren't like pestering the investigators. We are.
I would be.
No, to a certain extent, he has to do his job. It's a friggin' mess. I mean, you yourself, how confused were you when I contacted you and told you?
Yeah,
It took
I was.
it took you a lot of
Yeah,
lot of time
like,
to get up to
what?
speed. And so I don't think that pestering him is going to do me much good right now. I want him to focus on his job and let the DA do his job, and we're going to worry about the kids that they have here right now, because if there's really nothing else we can do except for keep doing what we're doing and keep spreading the word about her.
Yeah.
And we need to focus on the younger two and getting them the help that they need, and they're going to need a lot of help in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
What Edie Whitley says, did they get any computers? That information has not been released. The police can't really share what kind of evidence they have collected because there's still an active investigation, as well as this active criminal case against the Centenos regarding my two younger siblings, as well as Kaya. So if they have collected any kind of, computers, any kind of electronics and stuff, we wouldn't know that, and they wouldn't be able to release that to the public at this time.
I'm gonna eat your strawberries, girl.
Let me see. Yeah, integrity of the case. That's correct, KK.
Yes, we don't want to impede the investigation.
Yeah.
They actually asked us to remain quiet for several weeks, which we did because
But then
they
they said
be,
it was okay now for you guys to like do interviews and stuff.
as soon as they arrested the Centenos, yes, they allowed us to.
Okay.
Good.
So it's only been about 10 days since we've been able to even mention this to
Say
anyone.
anything.
So we knew for like a month before we could even tell our best friend, you know. So
It was horrible.
yeah, it was. As much as I wanted to scream, my sister is missing and have people start looking for her right away, I could not do that. So I'm really happy that we finally are able to break the silence and kind of get everything going with people sharing information if they have any, or looking for her. I mean, she could be just you never know what her life could look like at this moment. Assuming that she is alive. And I have heard a lot of people say on comments and stuff like that, that, oh, we probably know what's happened to her. No, we don't. We really don't.
Only Centenos do,
Only the Centinos do.
and only up until the point when they did whatever they did.
Right.
If they took her across the border and gave her to somebody else,
Do you think
extended
that
family like the other two, then likelihood that she is dead is pretty low because they didn't kill the other two, right?
right?
And they kept them there for a year and a half, at a family home, and they were active enough that a neighbor noticed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, chances are that if she is alive, she could be, the little mama seated on the corner with, a baby and doesn't even realize that she's Kaya from America. She's been there a long
Right.
time. She may not even speak English anymore. At least not well. I mean,
So
that's
when she went into when they adopted her, she was how old exactly? She was born in
5, right? Almost 6.
5. So and then and so how old would she be now?
18.
Wait.
Just
Okay.
turned this May.
Okay. Yeah, she could, she could just, be there with a family or
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
let's be real. It doesn't have to be a horrible, it
Right.
doesn't have to be that she was sold into sex trafficking ring or something like that. What if she was given to a family that couldn't have any children? She might have had a good life. We don't know one way or the other what's happened to her, and your mind always goes to the worst thing.
Right.
Okay. And that's
Hmm.
why I just keep telling my family, have faith. I know she's out there somewhere and we will find her.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. You're
Yeah.
welcome. And we're gonna get this everywhere we can to get
No,
get it to some
I
bring
don't
some
believe the
fun.
other children did go to school. You make an excellent point because there's no mention of the other children going to school. And they were
Oh,
not of school age when the Centenas got them, but Kaya was probably in kindergarten.
yeah.
Oh,
So it was 8 to 10 years ago, right? That she went missing. 8 to 10 years ago.
Excuse me?
You are late to the party. Really, really late to the party, dear. You need to go back to the Nixle and you need to start from the top line and read all the way down past the credits. And in that, you will see that the Centenos did not allow the biological family to have anything to do with the children, just like most people who are exploiting children do by isolating their victims.
I wanted to make sure you
really
guys
want to
saw
go
that.
around with me.
Do you want me to block her or?
No, let her talk.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
good for the detective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody screenshot this. Always screenshot everything.
I download these right when we're done, so I'll have it, Tim. For sure.
So hi Heather, I just want to clarify.
Disgust is aimed at the wrong party, dear.
So disgusted at us, we haven't seen any of them in 10 years. And the first thing that we hear about them is that one, that they have been, my sister has been missing for 10 years and they just found out about it, the police, okay? And do you think we wouldn't have done anything if we had known before? Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
You must be a special kind of stupid, Heather, because we're the ones who care. Obviously,
I
these
have a
symptoms
question for you,
abuse us.
Heather. I have a question for you, Heather. Okay, are you ready? The Centenos had custody of the children as early as 2008. They were the responsible party. Why did the Centenos not report my niece missing for forever? And the other two children were the ones who, thank God, remembered that they had their sister. Why did the Centenos not report it? The Centenos saw them every
Good
day.
question.
We haven't seen
Tammy,
them
check
for
your
10
messenger.
years.
Okay.
Tammy, check your messenger.
The whole family gonna jump on her and text. I know it.
Just 1 second, guys.
So, do you guys know who this girl is?
No. But we've been getting a lot of trolls like this in
Yeah.
places that we've been posting. A couple of our Ken's tweet is going like really good. Ken's tweet is doing really nicely. He's number 2, and my Facebook public share is going really really good. And Kristen's on the Find K page. We have 3 that are really hot right now, and they're really traveling fast. And we pretty much reached down into South America with our shares and our tweets and stuff across most of the United States, a little bit up into Canada, and we hit Dublin, Ireland today. So we are now in Europe as well. I really do think that we need international exposure for this.
Yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
because of the fact that the kids were found in Mexico, that opens up the door for international travel, and she could be anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you never know. She could be next door.
Yes.
She could be, it does, in Russia. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like
Could be
anywhere. This is why you guys need to, make your voice heard and like get this story out there. And whatever you guys have to say, just say it.
I also want to say, to make this clear, in case anybody doesn't realize, we're the bio family, not the adopted family.
Right.
A few people have had made that mistake before. Are you saying? I'm sorry, Heather. That was worded incorrectly. Okay. My bad.
Wait, what happened? What? I missed that.
It's on, Tim. It's on the screen.
I'm sorry, that was worded wrongly. Okay. Oh.
Whoops. Well, you got to understand how no one can even imagine the pain they're going through. So
Our bad.
We always did.
Well, you know what? When my daughter was missing, I was
Give me one more stick, guys. I'm so sorry. I got something going on here.
Okay. I was so, like automatically, like just like, if somebody said something. So it's totally understandable. So
it's frustrating. It really
is
is
frustrating.
And you feel helpless.
So Heather says, I am disgusted with them, and I don't understand how they could have reported this, Centeno, not you, to that family instead of you.
Exactly.
No,
I want to know too, Heather. I really, really do.
Yeah.
I want to know why the hell they didn't do it.
It's
Ah.
crazy. You have a really good point about that, actually. Now that we've figured out that you're not trolling us.
And we
Well,
apologize for ripping your
you're
face
right.
off. We're touchy.
But now everyone knows what they're up against.
And
Yeah.
Good point, Tammy.
if you think about it, I mean, okay, say you have a 7 or 8-year-old child. They go missing. What's the first thing you do? You call the police, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that they didn't report and they tried to conceal the fact that she was gone for 10 years, continually collecting federal adoption supplement money for her every single month of every single year that she has been gone. It just, what does that look like to you? I mean, there's certain things that we just can't say, but what does that look like to you?
We're getting a lot of hits from Ohio now, Corinna. I think it's because you guys are doing it. Ohio, Michigan, Maine, all around there.
What do you mean hits?
Shares and tweets.
Oh, that's good.
Corinna is my brother Wade's oldest daughter. And a good portion of that branch of the family lives in the Ohio area, Great Lakes area.
Yeah.
Chris says a good point. You never expect it to be your family. You hear about stuff like that in the news, and you never can imagine. Tammy knows that better than anybody, and thank God it worked out good for her. And I pray you guys get the same type of closure, but you never expect it to be you.
Well, I think we're hoping for the best and sort of preparing for the worst. But
it's like it's already bad.
It's been a long time. A lot of people, look at it like a cold case because she's gone forever, but it's not a cold case. It's an active case, and yes, the trail is 10 years long, but there's still a friggin' trail.
Yeah.
So it's going to take time, unless, like I said, Madam Centeno, you really need to roll over. You need to do the right thing.
Right.
Keep your ass from getting electrocuted.
Well, they know what happened to her. To
They do.
Of course they do. You know.
They have to.
Oh, there's absolutely no chance that they don't know.
They know.
We all know this. We're not idiots. We're not giving them the benefit of the doubt because they have proven that they are not worthy of that. So I think from here the difficult part is not saying what we want to say, while this investigation is going on.
And the non-use of profanity is really difficult too.
Yeah. In other countries they have ways of making people talk, and I wish that we could do that sometimes.
I would like to challenge her to a slapping contest.
Yeah.
I do. I want to officially challenge Mrs. Centenos to a slapping contest.
I would love to watch that.
Alufa asks, who is Heather?
We don't.
I don't know if anyone knows her.
I do not know who Heather is.
Okay.
Yeah, torture, Edie.
So, I mean, you have kind of already said some direct things to some people, but if you can get a direct message. What's that?
Oh, Edie said they do that. They do torture in Mexico.
Oh, do either of you guys want to get a direct message to either Kaya or anyone else in particular that you haven't yet? If you can speak directly to them, either Kristen or Caryn.
Poor Kristen's getting accosted by the 3-year-old. I think Kristen would like to say something.
Yes, I would.
Come here, baby.
I don't even know what to say, but
I need them.
Kaya, if you're out there and you see this somehow, just know that there's people here, your family. I know you might not remember us very well, but we love you and we have forever, and we miss you so much. And if you can find any way to get out of the situation that you're in, just try, and just know that there are people looking for you, and we're trying to make sure that there are more people looking for you every single day, and that we're trying to help you wherever you are, and that we will get justice for what has happened to you and what has happened to our siblings. And just know that if you do come back here, there is a place for you, and there always will be.
Aw.
And you don't have to worry about anyone harming you or doing anything like that, because we love you. We love you. You know, we love you, and we want you to come back.
Amen.
You guys, I want you to know you're both doing an awesome job. Caryn, I don't know if you wanted to say something to her or.
No, I want to say something else.
Okay. You have the floor.
I guess I kind of want to say a prayer.
Okay.
It's a prayer that Mama Cozy gave me, because she said I was a lost child, and that St. Anthony was the patron saint of the lost. And if ever I needed to be found, to say this. So, St. Anthony, please come around. Someone is lost that must be found.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. I think Kristen took a moment to compose herself. If you need to do so too, Caryn.
Her master is running down the side of her face.
For sure. You guys did awesome tonight.
And, well, we decided if we have to cry, we're going to cry, and that we're not going to ever stop looking, and we're going to do anything and everything we can that's within our power to help Kristen's siblings find justice and heal and have a real life. Because, you got to understand, those kids, they haven't even gone down for a hot dog at Costco. Something that you consider simple and everyday. They've never experienced it. The whole world is going to be magic to them, and we want to make it magic with them.
Well, that you guys are a great family. Yeah, I could tell you guys are just full of love, and if they ever do get to come back to you guys, they have a wonderful home. I know that. I can see it with the other people that are related to you guys that are commenting as well. There's a lot of love there.
Thank you both for giving us your time, and Jason, your airtime, to tell our story and to get Kai's face out there a little more. We really appreciate it. And like I said, you lucky bastard, you got your foot in the door first. Because this is going to go off the hook. It will. I'm going to make sure it's going to be
everyone, please share it.
For sure. The important thing is bringing her home.
And every tweet is one share closer to someone or someone who knows something about her. So please, please, please share, especially in South America, south of the border of the United States, okay? If you have any family in Mexico or Central America, please, please share. Because I truly believe that people are creatures of habits, and they sent her there first.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, look.
Hi, babies. We got Toby. We got a baby. We got
a Pikachu.
We're going to have to go now because it's dinner time.
Okay, did you want just real quick, Heather, that's the same Heather. Why didn't John Reed call when she stopped showing up at school either? Did you want to answer that?
I believe that it was bombshell, right?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Leo's having a fit. All right, because he's
Oh, okay,
with
all
his
right.
daddy.
You guys got to go. You
And
did an amazing
so
job.
I
Everybody
will
did.
explain to you about the school. Um, she was removed from school to be homeschooled.
Well, it was feedings, right? Oh god.
That was the best thing I've ever seen.
She
I
felt
don't know if something could happen. I might have to have Grotto look at that.
she kills me. She really does.
Grotto could put like a Pikachu over there.
Yeah, let me
We're
tell
not
him.
shy. We're not shy at all. I was telling my friends the other night. I walked past her and she's lying there. Leo's not even there. She's doing her homework. She's all typing away and her boob's out. And I said, "Sweetie, you can put your boob away now. The baby's gone to bed with daddy."
No, I know. I did the same thing. You just don't think about it. You just do it. Yeah. Tell Grotto to put a Pikachu over there.
Oh, Heather, you lived in Roner Park as well. I see. Okay, that's how I understand the connection now. That was really good to laugh. Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah.
I think we all needed
That was
that.
awesome.
And Grotto, I'm gonna have Grotto, my tech
The
guy, play that
majority
just so
of
you know.
the people here who are watching have seen your boob before, so don't worry about it.
It's gonna be blurred too. Within
Hey! We're gonna get lots of views there.
No.
The Charlie Project.
I'm so sorry
is
you
working-
get demonetized
working with
for
us,
that.
and so is
No, we're gonna blur it. Don't worry.
Hattie Klaus. Is that Polly
Just for
Klaus?
your sake. I don't care about that.
Wait, what happened? Heidi Klaus.
Let's see. As of today, because if you search her name, you can see the recently released reports on her. Go ahead and close it, Kristen. That's fine. They've already seen your boob. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, we'll edit
She's
that out.
never
so
gonna
we'll
live
finish
that
it.
down. Every family gathering, they're gonna say, "Remember
That
was
so
on
cute.
TV with
That was cute, but
Okay, so,
don't worry,
so
Heather.
far-
If you're mortified, we'll fix it.
So
Don't do
far,
that.
we have NBC in the Bay Area has done an article online. The Charlie Project was one of our first articles, and that happened a few days ago. There's one in the Roanoke Park News. The Napa Valley did a small blurb. Polyclass organization has one. Miss.
Oh wow.
As well. You guys are listed on it. Kristen's page, Ken's and mine Twitters, they all come up. If you do, like advanced searches and stuff. So it's getting out there.
Awesome.
It wasn't getting. It wasn't coming up in Google search until yesterday. Today, all of it. Today, all of it. And Press Democrat released today, which is the local Sonoma County newspaper, NBC News. We've
great.
contacted hundreds of news agencies all throughout the United States and Mexico, and asked them to run the story for us. We've contacted activists. We've contacted YouTube bloggers. We've contacted regular bloggers. We had a piece on the Napa Valley paper that did the piece. Is a very small, well-read paper for the people that are in the agricultural industry around there. So I thought that was really good because our Mexicans, farm workers, they travel a lot back and forth between
Wait,
the
look at
border
Kristen.
and stuff. So that's a good network to get into. You know, you get people to start talking about it and stuff. So I was pleased that it came out in that, and I would like to see the getting more Hispanic journalists, because they do weekly papers that lots and lots and lots of people read that we don't have in the States. And we
Yeah.
cover a lot of ground,
For
but
sure. All right. Is there anything that we didn't think to cover? I just want to make sure we, we're thorough. Do the best for
I
Caryn.
think, there's a lot we don't know. I
Okay.
don't have any answers.
Okay.
Really.
Okay, everyone share this.
Yeah, everyone share it. Make sure. Let's get it out there. And we'll blur out the one part so that poor Kristen doesn't get the whole
Thank
world
you,
hearing it.
Kristen.
Yeah, the male viewers say, yeah. Hey guys, to all of my male viewers, you're welcome. No,
Yeah.
all right, guys, we're gonna finish up there. Thank you so much for coming on.
And
to both Caryn and Kristen.
Thanks,
You were
Caryn
amazing.
and Kristen.
And to Tammy for co-hosting.
Thank you.
All right, bye guys. Have a great night to all the viewers. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. Check out Be United. The links will be below. be-united.org, and then their Facebook group. I'll put it there. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Tammy. You're amazing as always.
Thanks, Jason.
Have a good one.